Alright. Wait for you guys to start joining. And then we'll get started. Hello. I'm gonna wait for a few people to get in here. Just getting started. Usually there's about 50 people in here, so I want to wait till at least there's maybe 20. We got half that. Okay, we're at 17, 13. Excuse me. Getting right in there. So I'm gonna show you guys what I made today on my live trading account. I'm gonna show y'all a trade that I actually swung overnight in our account that we've been doing, and y'all are gonna be very surprised about how well that did. All right, we got about 50 people in here now. So per usual, I made my $1,000 for the day. I stopped. This is my funded account. Okay, $1,000 done for the day. Now let's go to our account that we trade with, which is this paper trading account, so that I can answer your questions and everything. So last night I had a short, and I'll show you where I had it so that you can see. So it was right up here, and I actually, the reason why I had it was because we had just burst through VWAP. We kind of were at this high for the day that we had already had previously on the during the day, so like right around 11 midnight-ish the day before. So I was like, all right, let's go ahead and short here. And I actually had 10 contracts, and I held them overnight. And when I woke up in the morning, so 7 a.m., this is at 7 a.m., I want y'all to see how much money I had made. So overnight with those 10 contracts, made 40 grand. And this was that trade that when we ended the live last night was down like $300-400. I ended up selling it for plus 1,400. So to end the night, we ended up plus 590. So and then when I woke up this morning, I was up obviously that plus 40,000, which was pretty crazy, but we won't count that towards our total goal or our total amount, in the sense that since you guys didn't get to play that one with me, it was just kind of an overnight thing that I wanted to test out. It worked out in my favor. Cool, I had a stop loss in mind. I put it on there, and I went to bed resting easy, knowing that the most that I could lose was a few $1,000s. And if I woke up and we were down a lot, then I would be up quite a bit. And obviously, that's exactly what happened. This is literally a salary overnight. So that was pretty cool. And so now, let's go ahead and see what's going on here. We're basically bouncing off of this 200 EMA here. I wanted to get this live going before we hit the 200 EMA, but I wasn't fast enough because I wanted to long it with you guys off of there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait and see what happens right in this area, and just kind of wait, see if we start going up. If we start going past here, I'm going to maybe long at 410, 405, somewhere around there, and then sell it around 430. Okay. Could SPY hit 373 this week? That's really tough. I think most of the days are gonna go green. I think that there will be chances where we'll have several dollars down, or like we'll have retracements, kind of like how we had today, right? Like we had a couple, we went up really high, down really low, and now we're up again. And I think that's kind of how it's gonna go. Is we're gonna have moments where like SPY may go down to like 375, somewhere in there, go down a couple dollars, but overall it's going to turn out, yeah. Think you should trade futures. Forex is too risky. I think they're about the same in my opinion, but I do like that futures allows you to trade like either NQ or MNQ. That gives you less risk. I'm not sure if any futures allow you to do anything similar to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a long off of 400 here. We're going to do long there, and we're going to see if we can't get that entry. We're going to zoom in a little bit, get this looking a little closer. So we're starting to move up a little bit more. I'm going to move it to 405, and we're going to try and see if we can't get a $100 to $200 move real quick. So we're starting to hit that level that I was looking at here. Let's see what's going on. It looks like we're rejecting it a little bit. Maybe reject it to touch this fib line again and then burst up. And I guess what we'll try and do today is we'll try and make $500 on this particular stream, since last night we made 500, 600 bucks together. We'll try and do that again, and that's our net for 1,000 for the day. Alright, I'm going to do it just how I do my own trading. That's what I did last night. Y'all saw last night my funded account was at it was like 460-ish, 470. That's how much I was up. And then I made the rest of that $1,000 this morning. And yeah, so we're about to get our entry, or it just popped off of our entry. Okay, there we go. Got our entry. We're running a little red to start off. We're gonna try and sell it at 410, so we can net $100 when it pops back up. And if need be, I'm willing to average down basically really heavily at this 200 EMA. So what I'll do is, let's say it's at 79, let's say it's at 80, just because that's a good round number. We tend to pop off of them. Since we have one at 405, I'll average down with 3, so I can get my average to be somewhere in this area, and when we bounce up, we'll be alright. And even if this gives me like 50 bucks, I might just take it. So, we'll see. And if we do start to trend down instead of popping back up, like I see Tiny Rhino saying, the cool thing is you have these areas of interest where you usually have some small pullback in that direction, small pop. So that's why I'm heavily averaging down here, so that when I get that pop back, I can exit with some small win. But I think that we're going to end the day green. I think that overall for the next probably few weeks, maybe not the day, but the next few weeks in general until midterms are over, are probably going to end overall green. So we'll have some days that are slight red, some days that are slight green, which is kind of what we're having today, like a slight green day. I think we'll just basically end slightly green today, tomorrow slightly red, next day slightly green, so on and so forth. And there might be a couple days in a row where you have slightly green or slightly red, but I don't think there's going to be any big days that end that way. You might have big intraday movement, but it's not going to end that way, in my opinion. Just not right now, anyway. So this is trying to pop up a little bit here, so if it gives us some green, I'm going to go ahead and exit because we're struggling. Low for the day would be very, very, very low. That'd be 210. That would be $7 several $100 drop. I don't know. I don't think that we'll hit a new low for the day. I could see us going maybe to VWAP or something like that. Um, but I think that overall we're gonna end green. So I mean, we could very well go lower and maybe create another new low. But this is looking mighty M-ish, which should drive us up. Um, we'll see. So we're green. We were green for a split second there. I was too busy talking, not paying attention. But I would have taken that 25 bucks. That's for sure. So remember, NQ is what we're trading. Um, futures. So when we trade these together, I'm on my paper trading account. So far since September, we started at 104,000. We're at 170 now. Again, NQ is what we're trading. Um, Last night was a big win though, so you can kind of ignore a good chunk of that. Like we've made really 25 to 30,000 together in the last month. The extra 40 was a really big play that only happened last night. So yeah, and I get what you're saying now, Tiny. You just mean like a new low, like maybe like somewhere in here. So yeah, like VWAP would probably be a good new low, and then catapult up. I could see that. Which is a good reason why I want to average down in this area, and then I'll probably average down again there. If I need to. So if this gives me my exit before it decides to drop, because what this could be doing is this could create basically a W, so we come down a little bit more and then pop up, and we come around here, somewhere in between these two, because your W needs to be between these two on the last leg for it to be valid. If not, it's just going to continue up. But if it stays between these two, or basically between here, this top, and this top, it'll form a W that'll drive us down and go back somewhere in here or in here. A PL year to date. So I only started doing this account with you guys in September, but I mean, my own account is like I've made quite a bit. So we're up 25, 60, 55. I'm just gonna cut that real quick. And then I'm gonna leave this buy order here. Because like I said, I think that this is gonna create a W that'll drive us down, and my confirmation that it's not a W will be if we push up past that. I'm trying to see if maybe there's a bigger W being formed as well, because if we drive down and we go like right in here, what would be forming is a really, really big W, which would be right here. So it would be like, so like maybe if we push up a little bit more to like there, and then we'd go down here, and then we push up, and if we pushed up to somewhere like right in here, that would drive us extremely far down for the next day. But then as you can see, or like for power hour maybe, this would end up creating an extremely large M as well that would probably drive us to end the day green. So it really depends on if this comes into fruition right here, because if this comes into fruition, then it's going to drop us, and then we should kind of follow this line. Let's see. You know what? If I can, I'm going to go short at 410. And I'm going to do it with 2 at a time. And that way, whichever one ends up hitting, I'll take it. Do I trade gold too? Not personally. I do get like physical gold, but I don't trade like gold like in terms of like this on a normal basis. TikTok says the 8th of November Biden gets canceled and then down. I don't know. Biden somehow has not been canceled, and he sniffs kids and he sends billions of dollars to Ukraine while we have the highest inflation we've had in years. There's lots of reasons that dude should be canceled, and if he hasn't been canceled yet, I don't know if it's going to happen. Do I know what I'm doing? Yes. What kind of fucking question is that? So, looks like I might get this entry. I seem like I'm in the learning phase still. If that's how you feel, whatever. So again, we're gonna accept about 50, 100 bucks. Yep, there we go. Cool. Made our 50. So far today, we made our little, I guess that first trade ended up turning around on it while I was doing the exit, but we made 50 bucks. And then again, remember last night we made quite a bit. So we are, I should have held that short. You were definitely right, buddy. But again, this W did form, driving us down. So. Oh my god. I'm just gonna ignore you, bro. How much should I start with if I want to trade futures? So if you want to trade with your own personal money, what I would do is probably have around like 5,000, and I wouldn't start with NQ. I would start with MNQ. It's going to be less risky. It's going to give you less reward as well, but starting here is going to be your best bet. If you won't start paper trading and you need to start, like you just for some reason in your mind you feel like you need to start with MNQ or MES instead of NQ or ES. It's just going to be less risky. And then once you get comfortable and you get consistent, you can move up to the NQ or ES, whichever one that it is that you decide to do. Yeah. So, but if you each contract, so as you can see, this is 11,398. You don't need that. What you need is basically 1,399. So like if you cut off a decimal, right, that's how much you need per contract to be able to trade. So that's why trading MNQ is a little bit better, because NQ, every 25 cents, which as you can see is a tick. So it's what they call tick. So as you can see, then it moves in 25 cents at a time. Each tick is $5. So if you move a full dollar, that ends up being like 20 bucks, I think it is. So if you do this, it's 50 cents, so it's a tenth. If you would have made or lost $1,000 with NQ, you only make or lose $100 with MNQ. So you can practice with it, get comfortable, make $50 to $100 a day. Just get consistent, and once you get consistent, you can go ahead and do what you need to do. And I do agree that MES is going to have better price action, but when it comes to how do I put it? When it comes to like how fast things tend to move, like if you're one of those people who's trying to scalp, do things quickly, etc., NQ or MNQ tends to be a lot quicker, but ES/MES tends to have a little bit easier chart and etc. to follow, and it tends to create like better structure in general. So I will agree with that. And yes, you can trade futures in TradingView. That's exactly what we're doing right now. Does it depend how much much you anticipate the rise or drop. I mean, anticipation shouldn't necessarily be your like how you enter a trade. It should be based off of your, first of all, what is the chart telling you, right? And then if you have indicators that help you, that show you what the chart is doing, what are they telling you, right? So for me, you know, I have the EMAs here. I have the 9, the 21, the 200 at my VWAP, and I have the fibs on here. So that's what kind of helps me gauge where I'm looking for bounces. Like, see, it bounced right off the fib line up, so I could have, if I hadn't been talking, I would have longed it there, and so on and so forth. So remember, when I trade with you guys, I go on this paper trading account. We've been growing it from 104,000 together, but before I come on here, I am trading on my own account, my own funded futures account, where I make $1,000 every day, and then I come on here. So funded futures account, boom, made my $1,000, got off, logged on here, right, got on this one, and you can see, we can look at it together. This is just since September 18th that we've been trading this one together, and it's up to 170,000 off of 104,000. So, and the reason why I started it at 100,000 is because if you decide to do what I do, which is the funded accounts, you're going to want a $100,000 account anyway. So to get you kind of consistent, show you what you would be doing, did it that way. So, hi, new to the site, do I do one-on-ones? Yes, I'm not trying to funnel you guys to do one-on-ones or join my Discord or anything like that, but if you want, you can always email me at emadaytrader@gmail.com, and we can set one up if you want, or I can shoot you the link for the Discord or whatever it is that you may want. So here, this small W ended up creating now a larger W. So if we pass this, it'll be invalid, but if not, if we stay in between these two here, it's valid. It looks like it's invalidating as we speak, but it could run up slightly and then decide that it wants to burn down, which sometimes happens, but I don't think that's going to happen. Not right now. I think we're probably going to potentially run back up to like 425-ish. Do I ever trade my live account on live? I do not, and the reason simply is first of all, if I'm trading on my live account, I'm going to end up not reading any of the chat. I'm not going to end up answering any questions. I'm not going to be useful for you. So I get on here so that I can at least look at the chat and not worry about what's going on there as much. Technical analysis does not work. Well, you can tell my bank account that because it's been working for my bank account. So, whatever. And Opti, we're trading NQ futures. So don't forget that we're trading this, but again, this also correlates with QQQ, which also correlates with TQQQ and SQQQ. So the things that I tell you or we're doing on NQ, you can also kind of correlate that with like quick plays on, say, shares of TQQQ or SQQQ, or a short like day trade on QQQ as well. Let's see. Can I explain the bottom pressure bargain and how it helps indicate? Yeah, of course. So currently, what we're seeing is high pressure. So what I mean by that is, whenever this has green, it means there's no pressure. Whenever there's green to black, it means pressure is building. And whenever black turns red, it means that pressure is high. And then if red turns black, that means pressure's starting to release a little bit, which it looks like it's trying to upwards, which means when it starts releasing, it tends to continue that way. So let's look at an example where we went red to black to green. So right here, we went red to black to green, and the pressure was released all here. But because there was no pressure, we went straight back down. And when we were going down, this downwards movement was building pressure for this violent move back upwards. So this was not as quick as these two candles were. This took about 10 or 15 minutes, where this took maybe 3 or 4 minutes to come back to here. So that's why you can use this to indicate like a big move, a big violent move. It's not necessarily telling you which way it's going to go, but it is telling you that it's coming, and that can help you stay out of something until you start seeing that violent move start to occur. So again, here it's starting to release, and then it's released, right? And now you have no pressure, right? No pressure, which is why we're just kind of jagging around and we're kind of chopping, because there's no real pressure, and it has to build pressure in order to do that. So now here it started building pressure going down, and then it's starting to release going back up a little bit. Average profits per day. Remember, so Trey, I'm going to show this just one time because you're asked. If you want to reach out to me in any way, shape, or form, you can reach out to my email right here. Okay, how much have I been making a day? I personally make, on my account, I make $1,000 a day. That's how much I make. I show y'all every time at the beginning of, before I go on here and I start trading with you guys. I'm in my account, which is right here. Log in, boom, and I show you guys my P&L, which is 1,000. So that's how much I made today, or in the last 24 hours, I should say. So from last night plus today, this morning, that's how much I made. And then I log out, boom, and I go ahead and get in here, and then I make money with you guys so that I don't overtrade. I can answer your questions, etc., etc. DM now. I already know how. Thank you very much, though. Do the daytime trading restrictions apply to MNQ? I do not believe so. Again, I'm trading via a funded account, so I don't get any like PDTs or anything like that. But I don't think that they like that. That's a worry that you need to worry about. Like, I don't think you get any of those. It's also taxed differently, like than if you do a day trade with a stock or an option. You get taxed 60% long term, which means you don't get taxed on that, and then you get taxed on 40% of what you make. So if you make $1,000, you're only getting taxed on $400 of it. Which, if you're smart with your money, what you can then do is use that basically $600 to then put into a 401k, an IUL, something of that nature, where you can then use the money to basically buy something else that can make you money, and pay yourself back with interest. And then once you pay yourself back with interest, you kind of just rinse and repeat. And yes, the money does settle right away. God damn. What'd you start at, Cora Allen? 100, 150, 175? What'd you start off at? I'm happy to hear that, though. Just remember, you got to be writing down what's making you successful and what's, when you're not successful, what it is that's making you unsuccessful. Because if you don't kind of keep duplicating the things that are successful and cut out the things that are unsuccessful, you're going to end up burning yourself on one or two trades. What's the name of the broker I'm using? I'm using TopStep that connects through Tradovate. So if you're using your own money, I recommend using Tradovate. If you're going to use a funded account, I recommend TopStep. Just personally, I like the way that they work out and all that good stuff. So we're struggling here against this fib line. As you can see, that run up was basically the release of that pressure. If you want to join the Discord is only like $15 a month. I made it cheap for a reason. I'm not trying to take everybody's money. That's not my goal. My goal is to have a space where people can collaborate with one another, learn from each other. If they don't understand something and someone else can't show them, then I'm more than happy to show them. That's basically what we do. We do call outs too, but it's not like other groups where like that's all that they want to do. What happened to Snap? It got dumped. It's trash. That's why. Snap has been basically a shitty company since they've IPO'd. I mean, the CEO, president, whatever, when they IPO'd, literally told everyone we may never be a profitable company ever, and people still bought it. Been trading since 2017 on and off with zero progress. Got $1,000. What do I recommend? I would recommend taking that $1,000, charting QQQ, but buying TQQQ whenever you buy calls, buy TQQQ shares, and whenever you buy puts, buy SQQQ shares, and just let the stock go about 0.2 to 0.5%. Let them, whichever one you get, let it go 0.2 to 0.5% and then sell it, and just rinse and repeat until you get comfortable doing that. Once that money's grown to like $1,500, $2,500, then you can start playing options in QQQ, taking 5%, and then you're basically good. And I actually made quite a bit of money today on MULN because I've been hoarding shares and averaging down on shares of that since probably I think when it was like 60 cents or so. I've been just averaging down, and my average is like 37. So I'm up about 11 cents per share, and I have like 10, 15,000 shares. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Hey, I'm happy to hear that you're learning and that you're being successful. That's why I do these. That's why these lives are important to me. That's why I consistently do them every day. Starting in a few weeks, I might stop doing them during the day, but start doing them after hours only. And the reason I might do that is so that more people can join and more people can benefit from it, because I know there's still quite a lot of people that work during the day, and I don't want them to feel like they miss out. I have, 5,000 or so followers. I want everybody to get their chance to join in if they want to. So. One thing that'll super help you, especially when it comes to patterns, is understanding, honestly, is learning harmonics patterns will help you be very, very successful. Especially if you're trying to do 1 minute NQ trades, like on the 1 minute chart or less, using tick charts as well, which I wish TradingView fucking had. But learning those will make you a lot more successful at trading these as well, because a lot of people in general that trade these, they trade based off of fibs, they trade off of VWAP, they trade off of some EMAs, and harmonics are based off of fibs, so it tends to be a pretty good indicator as well, or indication. Ooh, 5 a.m. And my journey for me too, and I can tell y'all, like, this is the way that I would recommend always if you're just starting out is first learn a strategy, okay? Practice the strategy paper trading. Practice doing shares of, and for me, because all I trade is NQ, QQQ, TQQ, and SQQ, what I recommend is charting QQQ on the 15-minute and trading these two instead of options. You trade TQQ and SQQ for calls and shorts, and you're just looking for little wins, Get consistent small wins repeatedly, and try and do that over and over. So we're burning up here. I'm going to go ahead and put my order at 20 just in case. I want to do it at 25. So you trade these, you get comfortable, and once you learn that you're consistent, what you can then do is start trading options in QQQ about 1 to 2 weeks out within $5 of the current strike price. So if you were going to get a call right now, it would be within $5 of 277, 1 week to 2 weeks out. If you're trying to day trade it, that way theta doesn't eat into your 15-20 minute trade, and you're good to go. You can then secure it at 5%. If you're used to making 0.2 to 0.5% on these shares, why would you not secure 5% on your options? And just to kind of give you an example, if you have $100 and you grow that $100 5% every day, which you can do if you're securing your 5% on your plays 2 to 3 times a day, you can grow your portfolio about 5%. That $100 in 2 months, 3 months turns into $2,000. So you can scale that however you need to with however much money you have, but you can be very successful with small wins, compounding. So how long have I been trading? I've been trading between 5 and 10 years now. But how long have I been successful? Between 3 and 5 years. So it's a journey. I have to teach myself a lot of stuff. So we got our entry. I'm going to go ahead and take that exit. So what we just took there is we have, so let's go ahead and see how much we're up for the day. Nothing too crazy. So we got 70 plus 40 plus I think it was 10. So we're up 120 for the day, nothing too hot. And we're going to go ahead and do another there if it happens to let us. Okay. Can I give an example of a play you did like that was TQQ and SQQ? Absolutely. So let's say I was charting 15-minute QQQ. So let's go ahead and put this on the correct day, which would be today. Right, so let's say so this is where we started out. We started out red underneath VWAP, okay? Underneath VWAP, I'm probably going to go ahead and short, which means I'm going to go ahead and buy SQQQ shares. So that means somewhere in this area I'm buying SQQQ shares, okay? Because we're above VWAP. On QQQ we're above VWAP, or we're below VWAP, I mean. And so in this area I'm buying, and when it goes up 0.2 or 0.5% share price, the shares go up. So in these two candles, I easily get that 0.2 to 0.5%. I've exited, and we turn around, okay? So now we're looking at QQQ. Now we're starting to go up, right? Now we've crossed above VWAP. Not only are we above VWAP, we're hitting our point of control here, so I might wait until we pass that. Okay, we passed that. Now I'm going to go ahead and go in a long. Now my long is going to be in TQQQ. I'm just going to buy shares of TQQQ. So that's right here, because it's the exact same as QQQ, but it's cheaper. It's only $20 a share. And then somewhere in these candles here, I'm already able to exit because we've already hit our 0.2 to 0.5%. You're just securing little gains. And that's how you get consistent. And once you get consistent doing the shares on those small moves, once you switch to options and you notice that those small moves are 5 to 10% gains, you're very happy with 5 to 10% because you've been securing 0.2 to 0.5%. So this will just teach you discipline and consistency, right? And having that discipline and consistency is very, very important with staying successful. If you don't have it, you won't stay successful. Because know when to exit, if you don't have the discipline to exit, if you don't have the discipline to see a pattern and just let it play out, you're gonna end up getting smacked more times than not. Am I a trend trader? Try Renko with 1 second and 5 pips bricks. I might have to try that. I do like trend trading sometimes. So we got our little entry here. I'm gonna go ahead and do our exit at 30. So got a little bit of money here. Let's see, I might do it at kind of want just 75 bucks, something like that. Okay, so we'll see what happens here. If it goes down from my entry, I will do an average down here. My son is watching Gracie's Corner. Okay. Definitely, SPY, Apple, and Tesla are good ones to do. Tesla tends to be very, very volatile in my opinion. I prefer to do Apple if I was going to do one of those, and then SPY, definitely a good one. Just joined. How can you catch up? You can watch the recording later if you'd like, and just kind of remember where you joined in at. I will upload it after we're done here. I'm trying to make us maybe around $300 or so, 300 to 500 bucks, and then I'm gonna hop out of here. So now we got a 55er. So let's go ahead and add that in there. We're at 175 now. And we're gonna go ahead and put that order there. 23.50. We're just chilling. Give me a second. I gotta put down my phone and adjust how I'm sitting. Y'all are probably gonna hear a chair that needs a lot of WD-40, but I don't got none. So bear with me. Alright, so we got our fill up a little bit. Did you ask me something, Mex Trade? Because I didn't see anything. If you did, I apologize. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and put my I appreciate that, Chef. I'm just trying to get people some money. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, there's always going to be people in here that walk in and think that they know better than me, and hey, if they do, they do. You know, if they can make money too, then I'm happy for them. But that doesn't mean what I'm doing isn't working. I can prove that what I'm doing is working. I mean, this account that we've only been doing it since the 18th of last month, and we started at 104,000, and this is where we're at now, and I would be impressed by that. I don't know why anyone else would be, but whatever. And I only did that after mastering this that's why I did all that, right? So, yeah. Just trying to help people out. If anybody wants to follow along and make money with me, I'm happy to help you make money. And if you want to learn, like I see people asking about the indicators, I'm happy to go over those as well. So, What I use for my EMAs, again, what we have here is we have our 9 EMA, our 21 EMA, and our 200 EMA. I like to use my Williams alligator to use this, and I basically use the jaw, the teeth, and lips going down. So if you go down, um, that's how it is. So it goes 9, 21, 200 like that when you go down. These are fibs right here, which I will go over in just a moment. And basically the way that I like to use the EMAs is like so. So 200 EMA, bounce zone, major breakthrough area as well. So if you happen to break through it, it tends to be a really strong move in that direction. But there tends to be a lot of chop before you finally break through, because of the fact that it likes to reject a lot. So it needs a lot of pressure to make it through, which is what happens here. And you get an extra pressure, and then finally you burst up. And then again, lots of rejections happen that push you back in the direction that you came from. The 9 and the 21, you can use them kind of two different ways. So when the 9 crosses below the 21, it signals shorts, right? And then when it crosses above, it signals longing. Or you can use when the stop crosses below both or above both, you can short or long. And even in this example right here, if you're doing futures, this is 11,403 all the way to 11,412, which was about $200 or $300 move. So if you even do this, this is 400 down to 90, which is a $200 move. So all of these can be successful if you're going to do that, which is fine. We're going to go ahead and try and do another long at 430 if possible. I've been talking a lot and not giving y'all any plays. So that's how you use those. Then you have your VWAP, which you connect to the opening candle for every session. And what I like to kind of consider VWAP as is it's very similar to your 200-day EMA. It tends to be a kind of bounce zone, a major breakthrough area, but it's a little weaker than the 200 EMA. So you tend to break through it a little bit more. And yeah, that's kind of how I like to use the VWAP. But with VWAP, I also have on these deviations right here, the 618, the 2, and the 3, and those help you also see like a range. So the blue lines are your 218 deviation, your 618 deviation, then the thin yellow ones are your 2, and then the thin black ones are your 3 deviation. And basically, whenever you break out of one range, you tend to kind of move up to the next. So I know you're thinking that the high is going to be 450, but we may break this and head up to like 480 up here, because this is where this next deviation is. We might hit that 450 and then drop and then make our way up here, though. I don't think we'll just like skyrocket up there, but I do think that we might make it up to that deviation. And on that note, if we were to kind of make it up there, so now I just got my fill at 30 again. We're up 65, 80. I'm going to go ahead and sell that. Ended up securing 60. So now we're up 300 bucks. I wanted to make $300 to $500. So we're in our range of what we wanted. So now I can kind of keep talking more about the indicators. Let's see. So next we have our TTM Squeeze Pro, and I've explained this a little bit, but basically it's a pressure indicator. Whenever you see green, it means there's no pressure or pressure has been released. Whenever you see red, that means there's high pressure, and black can mean pressures are just starting to build. If it goes from green to black, it means pressure's starting to build, and if it goes from red to black, it means pressure's being released. Okay? But yeah, I am trading on TradingView. That's where we're doing all of this. I want to kind of show you, because TradingView is a very common one to be on, how you can connect a funded futures account, go on here and start trading, or if you want to use your own money, you can go on Tradovate, download some money and go from there. But that's how you can kind of get going, trading futures on TradingView and make some decent money. So. And a lot of times, so there's another indicator that there's some, I won't say they're indicator, it's not an indicator, but it is a certain patterns that I look for entries a lot, and they're called bearish W's, bullish M's. Good example of this would be actually right here. So one reason why we probably popped up here is because we have a bullish M formation. These tend to fly you up. So this could be why we end up going to around that 450, maybe even a little higher there. If we do push up, this could be why. But what a lot of times happens is these work in tandem with one another, because if you look here, it'll create a W that, if we stop around here, will be a very solid W, because the stop will be above here, right? So this is technically, should be right up here. But if this comes to fruition and it doesn't pass here, then we'll drop probably back in here. Which one have I connected? So the one that I trade on when I'm trading with you guys is Tradovate. So when I do my funded account as well, it's through TopStep, which also uses Tradovate to connect to here. So again, before I get on with you guys, I try and make $1,000 a day and stop. So what we made today was our $1,000 on our funded account. Went ahead and got out. Went ahead and got on here, and then got on with you guys. And now we have made our about 300 bucks now. So I'm pretty happy with that. I don't know if you guys are. Y'all need me to go some more, but I'm ready to kind of jump out of here. I want to enjoy my day. And again, the one that we're trading is NQ. That's what we've been trading. I hop on here every day around the same time and trade NQ futures with you guys. And yes, it's on a paper account when I trade with you guys, but it's so that we can all see where we can take another account together. So. If you want to get a recap, yeah, I can go over the trades that we've made on here too, so that you can see how accurate they've been. If you want to re-watch the videos, if you go to YouTube, you don't have to subscribe or anything. If you look up right here, most of my indicators, if you want to go over the indicators again, you can watch this video right here from the 12th. It goes over them in depth, how you set them up with the settings, and then as well as how you use them by themselves and then together. I spent about 45 minutes going over it this day, so this is the best one that you can use. And then if you want to go ahead and watch this particular video, again, I put the date on them, so you'll be alright. You'll be able to rewatch it whenever you like. And let's see. Let's go ahead and replay our plays that we've had. So last night we had one bad play that I got out of, and then I remade it on my very last play for the night. So first of all, let's go back to where we've started, which was on the 18th. Okay, and we can go over every single play we've done together. So this is the first day, the 18th. First play, we ended up playing MNQ. So this $7.50 was more, should have been $75, but I wanted to get comfortable and get a little cushion going. We started at 104,000, then we made 40, then we lost 5, then we made 1,000, then we made 300, 35, 10, 95, 260, 60, 40, 100. Y'all can read, I'm not going to keep saying. And just so y'all can see, I can't delete anything either. Like, these are all back to back. One negative $5 after like 25 trades. Several multi-$1,000 ones. Then we had a $600 loss. And this one is really annoying to me because when I pressed the X on live, when you can see it on live, it was actually up $300, and it had a really weird, like, funky fucking candle, and it went down $600 and ended up being negative, but that's whatever. Ended up making $1,700 after that, and then kept going. And then last night we had one that was negative 1,200. That one sucked. I just caught the wrong wave, and I admitted it, and I showed everybody where I was going to have my hard stop. It hit my hard stop, and I just exited out, and then we made it up. So, and then this was an overnight swing that I did. I wanted to test a drop off of a certain level that I had, and I bought 10 contracts, and I held it, and I put an order in, and it ended up hitting my order, and it was obviously a crazy good play. But since it didn't really matter, I'm not like super duper stoked about it because it's just on the paper trading account. But I just want to test it out and see how it works. And then yeah, and then we've had nothing but green today, and that today equaled 315. So, and that's how you do things. The compounding is exactly how you become successful. Is all these little wins are how you become successful. This super rare doesn't happen often. Even this is super rare, doesn't happen often. And you're just looking for these little dubs, right? Almost everything that you see is under $100. Rarely are they over. So, yeah. Just get comfortable with these small wins and compound them over and over, and you'll be successful. Yeah, I would have, if I hadn't been talking, I definitely would have bought the pop off of this 9 EMA, because that's what it looks like we're kind of riding up now. Definitely would have got that, which would have been a $10 move, which was $200 for us. And yes, just to remind you guys, this particular one is a paper trading account, but I already made $1,000 on my live trading account. Don't want to overtrade, make my money hard stop. Then I come on here and I trade with you guys on this paper trading account that we started with 104,000 in, because if you're going to do a funded account, you're going to start off with about $100,000. So I wanted to show you how you can grow that particular account, and we've managed to grow it about $65,000 in a month. So, can you apply this strategy to XAU USDT? Absolutely. I don't trade like cryptos or really like currency like pairs or anything like that, but this works, especially on a lower time frame. It works. I've had people reach out to me after the fact and tell me they do it with that, and they're very successful. I just don't. And yeah, so if y'all don't have any other questions, I'm gonna go ahead and jump out of here. Yeah, those are some alerts that I have for our that I have programmed into my shit. I really wish I would have caught this this drop here. definitely would have done that. Did we quite hit? Not quite hit that 450, but I think we're gonna touch it, buddy. I think you got that. That was a good call out, bro. Good shit, Tiny Rhino. And y'all are very welcome. I will try and hop on the live tonight. We'll see. As I told y'all before, the lives at night are basically dependent on if I hit my $500 goal or not, or close to it, 300 to 500. If I hit my goal by a certain time, I go ahead and jump on at night. If not, then I just do the daytime one. But starting in a few weeks, I'm gonna only be doing one in the after hours open. So from like 5 to like 7, I'll be doing lives starting in a few weeks. So, and that's just to get everybody their opportunity to see it, because a lot of people are at work that I have as followers, and I don't want them to miss out either, just because they're at work. So, yeah, y'all have a great rest of your day. Go enjoy yourself, wash your ass, eat some lunch, do whatever you got to do. But if you made money, you should be done trading for the day. We're getting too close to the end. Don't give it all back. All right. Y'all have a good one.